Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see here, I've got a graphite review, and I'm reviewing the Staedtler Mars Lumograph, just ordinary graphite pencils, and also I'm doing the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black. Now these are not graphite pencils; these are carbon pencils, but I'll get into that more in a second. Now, the reason why I wanted to do both of these together is because I've just completed an art piece with them. And when I was testing them and doing all the different tests that I do whenever I'm conducting these reviews, I wanted to see how both these mediums would work together, because they are separate mediums. One's graphite, one's carbon, and although they may look the same at first glance, they are slightly different. And they behave different on paper and give you different effects as well. And so it was all very well and good just, testing and reviewing them separately. But I wanted to see how they played well together or not, as the case may have been. And so I have done some artwork with these pencils, which I've done a speed drawing for, and I've put some still images up over on the Art Gear Guide, which you can go across and take a look at. Now, towards the end of the speed drawing, watch the video all the way to the end, because I have put in a little bit of a surprise at the end of the video, and it's in connection with the subject matter that I did draw with these pencils. I'm actually quite proud of the drawing that I've completed with the pencils. I'd done a similar drawing not so long back with another set of graphite pencils, and my mother-in-law seen that drawing, but then and she said it was really nice, and it was coming up to her birthday. It's her birthday tomorrow, and my wife had said, why don't you do a drawing like that for her? So this drawing that I've done is for my mother-in-law, so that's why I used these pencils, and I wanted to be able to try and get a little bit of darker in there as well, because she wants to frame this. So, but like I say, at the end of that video, just keep watching to the very end. It's only 6 minutes or something like that long, 6 or 7 minutes long, but watch to the very end, and you'll understand the connection once you see it. So first of all, we'll look at the Mars Lumograph. Now this is the Graphite Range. Now as you can see here, this is a 24 set. So this ranges from 12B all the way to 10H. And for those of you that may not be familiar with the graphite grades, the B grade is soft. The graphite is soft. And so what that means is the further down the scale, so if you think of 12B as being the furthest down the scale, the darker the graphite is going to be. So 6B is dark, but it's still not as dark as 12B. B is dark again, but you're starting to get lighter. Right smack bang in the middle of the scale is your HB pencil, which is the reason why we see so many people using HB. And then it starts going into the H grades, but there's an F in between there as well. So there's HB and F grade. Then it goes H, 2H, 3H. Now when you start coming up all the way to the 10H grade, you're getting into very, very, very light graphite. But in turn, there is a lot more clay in the core of the pencil and not as much graphite. And so it can be a little bit scratchy. You've just got to try and work through that if you're doing a drawing and you need some highlights with your H grades. I tend to find that pencils past at least 6H start getting really scratchy, and you've just got to be gentle with the pencil whenever you're laying down the graphite. So we'll take a look at the Mars Lumograph pencil first of all, and take a look at the characteristics of the actual pencil. So I'm sure you will notice that it's got this blue barrel, which is synonymous with the Staedtler Mars Lumograph range. It's got, along one side of it, says made in Germany. Staedtler is the German company. Then we have the Staedtler logo and name of the company. And then beside that, it just says Mars Lumograph. Separating the blue barrel, there is a white band which circulates the pencil. And then at the very end here, we have a black, it's not a pigment identifier, but it's just like a cap on the end of the pencil. and the grade of the graphite is on every single side. These are hexagonal barrels, so on every single side of the barrel we have the pencil grade, which is very, very handy whenever you're using these, so that you're not twisting your pencil around to find out which grade you're using. On the opposite side of the pencil we just have the barcode, some numbers which correspond to the open stock value of these pencils, because obviously you can purchase these individually. I'll have more about the prices and the sets that are available over on the written review of the Art Gear Guide, so you'll be able to go across and see more information about the various different sets that you can buy as well. They come in a 12 set, a 6 set, and the 24 set is the largest set that they do of just graphite pencils. They do other sets that are kind of like combination sets of other mediums and what have you, but just for the graphite pencils, 24 is the largest set that they do. So the next is the Mars Lumograph Black. Now, like I say, they're a carbon pencil, and so they start off with the HB grade, then they go HB, 2B, 4B, 6B, 7B, and 8B. So they're all quite dark, starting off at the HB. The characteristics of the pencil: it's a slightly thicker pencil than the Mars Lumograph graphite pencil, and the core sizes vary with the graphite pencils. The core sizes vary depending on how soft the grade of pencil is. So the B grades tend to have slightly thicker cores because they're a softer core, so they need a little bit more stability. The H grades tend to have a slightly thinner core because there's less in those. But as you can see here with the Mars Lumograph, it's an all black body. So where the Staedtler Mars Lumograph had blue, this pencil has a black matte finish on the barrel. Then we have made in Germany, the Staedtler logo, and then it says Mars Lumograph Black. Again, we have this white band separating the end cap with the barrel, and the end cap is this black gloss cap, and again it's a hexagonal barrel, so each grade of the pencil is on every single side of the pencil. On the opposite side of the barrel, it's exactly the same as what's on the Mars Lumograph. It's just the barcode and some numbers which correspond to the open stock value of this pencil. If you take a look here, this is the swatch, really, so to speak, of the Mars Lumograph Graphite and the Mars Lumograph Black. Now, I've moved the lights out of the way here because I'm going to have to bring it in a second to show you the difference between the carbon and the graphite. So you can see here how dark the 12B is as opposed to the 10H. I'll have some images coming up on the screen here as well, but you'll also be able to see what I mean by the scratchiness when you go further down into the 10Hs here. With the Mars Lumograph, you've got this really, really deep black to the carbon of the pencil, but where the main difference comes in, and the reason why a lot of people use these black Mars Lumograph carbon pencils, is because when you are using like the B ranges of the graphite, when light hits it, there is a sheen. So let me move this light back over. You'll be able to see here that the B ranges of the pencil have like a sheen when the light hits them, whereas the Mars Lumograph Black, they don't have that same sheen. It's a matte finish to it. Now, if you are doing a graphite drawing for somebody and you need to get really dark tones in there, the Mars Lumograph Black will give those really deep, rich, dark tones without the glare that you might get. So in other words, if somebody's going to hang that work up in their house or something like that, and there's a picture light on it, you may not get the true effect of the drawing because of the light reflecting off the graphite. Whereas if you use the carbon pencils, you get this effect. The only downfall I found with these carbon pencils is that with the likes of the 12B and the 11B and the graphite, which when it comes to blending and stuff like that, graphite at the end of the day is a very forgiving medium. So long as you're light and not heavy-handed, if you need to remove anything, you can do so with the eraser. With the Mars Lumograph Black, it's a little bit harder with the carbon, and it's also a little bit harder to move that carbon about as opposed to the graphite. So let me show you that now. So I've got the 7B graphite pencil and I've got the 7B Mars Lumograph Black. I'm going to show you both of these side by side, and I'm going to put kind of like medium pressure on them. Actually, I'm going to do a medium pressure and then a heavy pressure. Show you them both side by side. So that's the medium pressure. And then this is the 7B Mars Lumograph Black. So you can see there instantly, same grades but much darker. So I'm going to go in now and do a heavy application of the Mars Lumograph Black, and then a heavy application of the 7B Staedtler Lumograph, the Mars Lumograph Graphite. And this is where the sheen comes. You can see it now on the lighting, where the graphite is already glinting because of the light, whereas the Mars Lumograph Black is not doing that. So there you go. You can see now that I've moved the paper. They're not too far apart in terms of darkness, but like I say, you have this issue with the lighting, and that is the biggest problem. But like I said, so I'm going to use this 7B graphite pencil and then the 7B Mars Lumograph, and just try to move those about with a blending stump. Whenever you're doing graphite work, you will blend and move it about a lot. So I've got this little simple blending stump, and because the B range of the graphite is nice and soft, when you blend it, it gives you this beautiful soft effect. With the Mars Lumograph Black, you can still blend it. Even Coda agrees. But it just doesn't move about as nice as the graphite does. You can still see very much the pencil strokes from the Mars Lumograph under this blend. I'll have some images popping up as well so you can take a better look at it. But that's the only downside to it. With the artwork that I done, the Mars Lumograph Black came in really handy, helped me out a lot, and hopefully whenever it's framed and it's in the house, when the light does shine on it, when daylight comes into the room or anything like that, it's not going to have that glint and therefore take away from certain aspects of the artwork. Don't forget if you want to find out about prices and links to different sets that you can get, they'll all be over in the Art Gear Guide. This is a much quicker review because it's a graphite. It's a graphite review, and there's not really much to this in terms of the main difference between the Mars Lumograph and the Mars Lumograph Black. So if you've got any questions about any of these two mediums, please by all means just ask me in the comment section down below, or if you feel more comfortable, you can send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I really enjoyed using both of these mediums. The Mars Lumograph Graphite is gorgeous, very soft. Obviously when you start getting up to the high H's, it is a little bit gritty, but it's like that it doesn't matter which pencil you use. The higher up those H's you go, the more scratchy and gritty it can be. The Mars Lumograph Black as well, it's a beautiful pencil. Now I know there are different sketch sets out there. I done one not that long ago. I'll have a link for it down below. I think it was the Conte sketch set, and they have some carbon pencils in there as well as a few other different types of graphite and charcoal and what have you. So you can get them in different sets, but I think it's really nice the way Staedtler have separated the two sets and put them out there as this. And you know, you could go off and do a full piece with just the Mars Lumograph Black if you wanted to. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. Don't forget, like I say, if you want, if I haven't covered anything in any of the different parts of this review, by all means, ask me any questions down below. Don't forget, watch that speed drawing all the way to the end for that little surprise. Hopefully, it'll show you a little bit more of what I've already spoke about on this channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Links for that will also be down below in the description box. And thank you so much for your support. By the way, the artwork that I've done on this will also be coming up very soon as a tutorial on my Patreon channel. I'll have a link for the Patreon channel down below. So if you're interested in learning how to draw this particular image that I done in graphite, by all means go across and sign up for it. It'll be available on all tiers of the Patreon channel. And whilst I did the artwork with the Mars Lumograph Black, if you don't have this, you can still take part in the tutorial and just use graphite pencils. There's no problems whatsoever. Okay, thanks very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thanks, bye.